Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to another SuddenlyComics.com video. It's a Monday night, so it's the price variance, and we've got an exciting show tonight. So, a year ago, in December 2021, Alan and I, did our Spec comics for 2022, and we are being brave enough to go back and review how our specs did, especially brave because we've been in a declining market for most of the year. So we did six comics on Alan's channel, which when you finished watching this, you can go over to Alan's channel and see how our first six selections did. And on this channel, we're going to review our second six selections. Okay, now then, Alan's first pick last year, and I have to say, I think he was being lucky with this one.
Oh, it's a book I always like.
And he didn't pick it for the right reasons, but it's done well. And that was this.
Oh, it did well because of Man Thing, not because
that's
of.
not the reason you spec'd it.
I picked it because I like Howard the Duck.
Correct.
Hey, Bill, actually, on the day that we're recording this, Comic Tom came out with a video, and this was on the hot list.
It was on it, yes.
And it was on the hot list for Howard the Duck, not because of Swamp Man Thing. So, even Comic Tom agrees with me. It took him a year, but he did agree with me. So the point is, maybe it's it's a pretty good.
It's a spec list, though, is it? So here we go. You can see the graph here.
Oh wow, it really jumped.
Yeah, you've got to be careful. The time scale on this, it's a bit deceptive. There was a really off-the-wall sale in April of 1,200. One's actually just sold for 600 and something. So be careful with this. It's got a low of 600 and a high of 1,200, and it's putting an average on the FMV of 930. So I think that 1,200 sale's a bit odd. Having said that, this book I've looked across the grades. This book has gone up generally across the grades. So well done, Alan, for predicting that the Halloween. I know he didn't predict that. He's just been lucky with this one.
Yeah, so it was me liking Howard the Duck. So I paid $45 for this Canadian, which is about 30 US for this book. So yeah. And I got a high grade copy. So yeah, I like this book. I always liked Howard the Duck. So
yeah, this is still on my want list. I still haven't got a hold of a copy of this. I think I need to get one before it goes
too crazy. Yeah. I think it's one that I think has some more room to grow even.
Yeah, it has, because they're going to use Man Thing again, aren't they?
And I have a feeling like, Howard the Duck is one of those characters that they seem to like to insert into different things. So I think there's going to be almost like a little cult following for Howard the Duck. So I actually still believe in Howard the Duck. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was off to a flying start here.
Yeah.
My first pick was Daredevil 105. It's the origin and first cover appearance of
Moondragon.
So it's the first time she's called Moondragon, and she's on the cover. I think it's quite a nice cover as well.
I like it. I love this cover, actually.
Yeah, and I'm off to a decent start as well.
Okay, cool. So this is better.
This is up. So yeah, both Alan and I have done well on this one.
I noticed that both of these books came out in my birth year, 1973. So
there we go. Obviously, a good year, Alan.
A good year for books. So
yeah,
that's great.
So this one's done all right. It's if you'd followed our advice on these two books last year, you'd have been doing okay at the moment.
I have 2 copies of this book, so I did really well.
It's a nice looking book. I do like that cover with all the reds on it. It's
for some reason I just kept on buying this one. I love it. I just love something about. I think Moondragon's kind of a sexy character. I kind of went for her. So yeah.
Yeah, I know she is dressed in red, but she hasn't got any hair, Alan. You usually like your.
Yeah, I like a little hair on my women, but yeah.
Okay, right. Unfortunately, Alan's next pick, there have
Oh
been no
no,
sales of this comic in 2022. Uh,
no, other way. Wait.
okay. So
Oh, okay. This is an
this was
interesting
Alan's
choice by
pick.
me.
But it's one of these obscure, well, I'm not sure how obscure it is, but anyway, nobody's bought one this year. So
Yeah, I would say that this one's gone up. Just like just from what I know, I know it seems
yeah, I'm
like
sure
I'm
you would,
biased.
Alan. But actually nobody has bought one, so it's impossible to tell.
Yeah, I know. So the thing is, like this book, there is sort of like right now, just as an FYI, like because I collect Golden Age, right? And what I've seen is there's a bit of a trend in the Golden Age for a bit of a uptrend. So any kind of key books from the Golden Age have kind of gone up a little bit. There was a depression actually when I recommended this book for Golden Age pre-code horror. It was actually a little bit down for a little bit. Like it just had sort of a brief pause where it went down. But what I've noticed recently, and this is just from Heritage Auctions, this is just from my observations, but I've noticed that a lot of collectors have moved away from bronze and silver and moved more into picking up like more blue chip like keys from the Golden Age as like more like sort of a recession proof kind of comic book buying. So I've seen these books kind of go up a little bit as a result. So that, that's my subjective me saying that it is actually a good spec.
Yeah, well, that's all very well, Alan, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to give you a flat on this one. You need to
Oh,
pick
come
comics.
on.
You need to pick
I thought,
comics with more than zero sales.
okay, so people watching this video, like okay, this is me asking you, don't listen to Mark. Don't listen to Mark. Whatever Mark says, don't listen to it. Just comment below on Mark's channel, was I right? And just you can just say Alan's right. Alan's always right, and that's probably all you need to
Yeah,
say.
unfortunately,
Um,
I'm fact based, and the fact is these are sold. Therefore, it's impossible to tell if it's gone up or down. Right. Okay. Moving rapidly on. My second pick. I'm afraid I had a bit of success here, Alan.
uh-oh.
This was Black Panther 2, beautiful cover.
Yeah.
This is the
And
sort
it's great. It's a Namor cover, so obviously it's going
Namor
to do
cover.
well.
Namor's been generally, although the movie Wakanda Forever was not that well received. The
Did you
guy,
watch it finally?
I know you put me off.
I'm ruining that movie. Yeah.
10 review, although you gave it 5, your actual what your content of your review made me think it was a 1. Uh,
Yeah.
Put
It
me
was
off.
pretty iffy.
So,
Yeah. Don't waste your money on it. Wait until it comes out, I think would be my recommendation.
but generally the guy playing Namor has got pretty good reviews. So
Hmm.
yeah, this was actually a pretty good spec because this has gone up significantly.
Let me see the trend. Oh wow. It looks like whoop, right up.
Yeah, so there was a sale recently in October of $121 for
And
this.
what was it going for before?
Previously $36.
Wow. That's actually a really so one time in life to listen to Mark is this time. Like on this one, I was checking.
Hang on a minute, I got the last one right too. So that's two out of two.
Oh no.
I'm
So
two
it's two
out of
one
two.
on this.
I'm 2 out of 2, and you're 1 out of 2.
Oh,
However, if you thought you should be listening to Alan on Spec, you need to wait until you see his third choice.
oh no.
It was Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars 3 with the appearance of Titania. Look at how
Hmm.
well this one's done since last year, Alan.
Oh yeah, it's done really well. I like how it's got that nice little mountain and then
So if you'd followed Alan's advice this time last year, you'd have bought this for $300, and it would now be worth $100.
wow. There's what's called a tax write-off where you can that's what I was this that was my spec. I was saying this would be a great tax write-off. You could, you know, show a loss on your records, just,
So
Oh
next
man.
week we are going to do our spec comics for 2023. And I'll just remind you of this one, Alan, when you're
This was a
be
yeah,
honest,
this
to be honest, the fact that we've only got one out of 12 picks that looks like this is quite good, because there are a lot of comics that have a graph.
yeah, I've seen the things where you take Comic Tom and you see his hot list, and then you take it like a year later, and like every single book is
Yeah,
just tanked
yeah.
in terms of value. I think we're actually not doing too bad.
No, the fact we've only got one like that
Yeah,
is not.
I I had more hope for the She-Hulk show, and I think this is really reflective of a bad show.
Yeah, I
And
think
the way
you're right.
Titania is in the show is terrible. It's just like she was like the worst. Uh, it was
Did
yeah, it
not
was
do that character any favors, as you can see.
no. It was it was really poorly done. Oh man, are they actually? I heard that they're making a season two, aren't they? Though
Are they? Yeah. I mean,
I
I
think
quite
so.
enjoyed overall. I know you didn't like it. Overall, I did
Oh,
quite enjoy it. I did like some of the episodes.
oh.
I didn't find
It,
I did.
like it had moments that I liked. I have to say, there was moments that I thought, wow, this is so good, and then the next moment they would just like just be the worst. It was like really high low kind of thing for me. It just drove me nuts.
I did
Um,
like the episode with Daredevil. I thought that was a
yeah,
good.
I like Daredevil. That was good. And I liked the fact at the beginning they kind of had him be truly Daredevil, where he was like, kind of a badass,
Yeah,
and I kind of like that.
yeah.
But yeah. Oh man. Oh well. So yeah. So this was not such a great
So, would you
choice.
like to see my last one?
Okay. Hopefully
My
yours is
last one was
a bit better than
Spectacular
mine.
Spider-Man '98, the first
Oh, okay.
appearance of Spot. And
Should be a
I'm
good book.
about even on this one, I think.
Oh really? I would have thought this was a good one because
But it
Spot is being
has about,
the
if you look at this, it's so if we go to February 22, August 21. Yeah, we're about here to about here. So it's about flat. It's gone up a bit and it's come down a bit.
so
Um,
wait. Where did you do it? Where's
about here, which was 120.
but it's down then.
No, 120 to 119. I think that
It's
counts.
down a dollar. I'm saying that's a loss.
Yes, if you're not careful, Alan, I'm going to go back to the one where you recommended buying a comic at $300 and it went down to $100. That is not quite the same as 120 to 119.
But if you had bought 100 copies at your thing, you would have lost the same $100.
Yeah, if we bought 100 copies of yours,
Oh well. Okay.
so
I
yeah,
actually would have thought this is a good spec. Actually, I think it's still a good spec.
yeah.
Um, I think you were spot on with this one
Thank
because
you. Very good. Yeah,
because I think once a trailer comes out for this one, again, I think you're just like we had this on the previous episode,
yeah,
where you're just I think your timing was off in terms of when we're recording this
yeah,
video.
yeah. I think I've been unlucky
So
on
I
this.
think
I think if the
if
trip,
a trailer comes out and they show the spot, I think this book will go
yeah,
well.
because the rumors were Spot is going to be one of the adversaries in the next
Yeah,
the
in the
multi.
next Enter the Multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, as you
So
know,
I think this was actually a good spec, to tell you
yeah,
the truth.
yeah. So
But yeah, it's a flat in terms of this. That's what's always interesting about these spec videos. It's really about timing.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if I'd recommended this a couple of months later, I'd be looking at
You
a
know,
significant down. Mid.
and if you like if you look at the video that when we were talking, we actually almost gave a timeline when to buy as well. I
Yeah,
think I remember that. And I said buy this book in this period and sell it in this period.
yeah.
And if you miss that period, well, obviously it's not going to be a good spec anymore.
No, which
You know
is
what I mean?
still, you probably still, if you followed my advice and bought it for $120 here, you haven't lost money. And I think if you then sell it when the trailer drops, you'll make money.
Yeah. And actually, had they sold it like a couple months after
Yeah, that's
your,
yeah.
they would have made money. They would have actually, what was it at? Like, what's that
Yeah,
peak right there?
they would have been if they'd sold it at the peak, you'd have just
Yeah, they would have made 80 bucks.
you'd have made $80. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good spec. I think a lot of ours were like that, where it's all about timing,
Yeah,
really,
all
more
apart
than,
from this one. I don't think there was
okay,
any
well,
I don't think there
you
was any
know,
point there, Alan, where you were making money.
okay. So everybody, you're really going to bother me about this one, right? Okay. We'll see next week. Next week we're going to do some more spec, and I'm gonna get my revenge, and
Well, you
it'll
have to
be
wait a year. You have to wait a year to see.
it's only a year. It's only a year. So yeah, wow, that's cool. So
Okay,
really good.
so I think I've won this. So on Alan's
I'd say
channel,
so.
we were about all square. We both had an up, we both had a down, and we both had a flat. I,
Yeah, I think you
I
did well.
show I've had two ups, a flat on that last one, but still that's potentially still a good, still potentially good. And
Yeah.
Alan has had an up. He did a really good one on his first one. His second one we can't tell because none sold. And his third one, probably the worst down of all of them. So
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
I think
Terrible
I
spec.
think I think I'm the winner of the spec competition for 2022,
Yeah, so don't listen to me, people.
especially if we count it in dollars. Um,
Yeah. I think that was the issue too, that the pound has dropped so much that it's really kind of influenced how well our specs are doing.
well, yeah, I mean the value of my comic collection has risen about 20% purely because my good
The
dollars
pound has dropped so much.
dollars are comics are a dollar commodity. So owning
Yeah, yeah,
this is what I tell my wife when I'm buying comics. It's an investment. I'm protecting us against the devaluation of the pound versus the dollar.
yeah.
So
So okay, so that was fun.
okay, and join us next week. I can know Alan is extremely competitive. He's going to spend the next week, all his waking moments, working out the best six spec comics. Okay.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is a year from now, I'm going to buy all the comics that I spec on heavily. Just buy every copy so that people think it's a hot market, and then it's going to go like through the roof. I'm going to make it happen.
So you definitely need to watch next week's because Alan's going to manipulate the market to ensure that it's
Exactly.
up.
So
Okay,
yeah, that's the way you can win.
thanks
Okay.
a lot. See you again soon.